Hello and welcome back to Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc. In the last episode, we came across a dead body that would explode, and have now come to the waiting place for the trial. With everything that's panned out and all the evidence that I've collected, this seems like the easiest trial to come. Like, the one that makes the most blatant sense. But knowing this game, there's probably going to be a twist and a turn in the dialogue rather than the evidence that turns the entire case on its head. So I'll just wait and see and hope for anything to come around. Do these ever give me any coins at all? The camera and the monitor? I doubt they do, but doesn't hurt to check, I guess, before making my descent. Yep, there's that. Alright, let's enter. Being the last one left, I stepped into the elevator. I was gonna say into, reading it, then I wanted to say onto, but nope. Read the script, dumbass. And then the doors slid shut. My god, it's so empty. I say it every time, but it's just so blatant. Like, it's in your face. There's giant gaps. This time, the clunking was loud enough to hurt my ears, and the dread began to consume me once again. I can't imagine ever getting used to the mental pressure that comes with preparing for an execution. In that dusky darkness, nobody said a word. We just stood there, silent and still. After an immeasurable period of time, the doors opened without a warning. A dazzling light penetrated every depth from my eyes. Of my eyes, excuse me. But it wasn't the illuminating light of hope. It was dread and despair. It was the blinding light of despair. Okay. What the fuck?
I can't wait!
Yeah, that is really blinding.
Ah, I've been waiting for this. I feel like it's been forever since we got together like this.
I mean, not really. It was like, what, 3 days ago?
The time for pointless jokes and jabs has passed.
Thrills, chills, kills!
Let's get on with the show.
And so, the curtain opened for the 5th time. A deadly judgment, a deadly deception, a deadly betrayal, a deadly riddle, a deadly defense, a deadly faith, a deadly class trial. I don't know if it's a deadly betrayal, since literally we didn't know this person. Alright. And pre-trial prep. Man, this and chapter 2 are kind of even right now. There was one thing that I wanted to check about in the truth bullets section. Where was it? I guess it's not here in the list? I wanted to... I guess... maybe the fragments near the dead body, maybe that was updated when I looked at the Monokuma thing. I think I misread it when I first did it, and I think my mind is telling me to read this to re-remember. It should be... yeah, okay, good. So it was updated here. It should be noted that the bomb which had been removed from Monokuma in the gym had disappeared. Okay, so I'm thinking this is the same bomb, and because... let's see. They were fucking around with the Monokuma thing until 7:30 is when I got there with Hina. No. I got to the kitchen with Hina. Do I have Aoi's account? No. Okay. So I'll just have to wait and see, because, like, the timing in my head is a bit weird of when Kyoko could have placed the bomb under the body. But why would she do that, is what I'm wondering. Maybe to save her skin? I don't know. Alright, so I did get a few more skills, but I technically have more points as well. Crystal Prediction, it costs 5. I only have 3 open points. Damn. 2 more points and I can get that. So maybe I... After all this is said and done, maybe I hang out with Toko and... Well, I wouldn't mind hanging out with Toko. I don't like Genocide Jill, and I really don't like Byakuya, so... Oh well. Alright. Let's just get going, I guess. Finish the preparations. All rise for the class trial.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results. If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one,
I wonder why the game...
then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate.
I wonder why the game decides to continuously do this. Maybe there's a possibility that they thought that you would, like, pass it off between friends between the cases. I don't know. It seems like a really stupid thing at all. But maybe it expects people to put it away for a little while and then come back to it. I don't know.
Okay, well, I'll leave the rest up to you.
Well then, let's discuss the specifics of the victim. First, we need to clarify who exactly the unidentified victim is.
It's Kyoko. There's no other explanation.
She's... Okay.
But Kyoko's standing right there.
No, that's a ghost.
Alright, so he's still stupid. I mean, you can't get away from stupid.
But she has legs and stuff.
Well, that's just because she's like the latest evolution in ghost technology.
There's a limit to how much ridiculousness I can tolerate.
Okay. So I just have to prove that the corpse isn't Kyoko, right? Then let's compare Kyoko's traits to the traits of the dead body.
Her traits?
One important trait Kyoko has that proves the body doesn't belong to her is the gloves.
I got it! I'm talking about her gloves. They'll give us some insight into the mystery. I'm sure of it.
Oh, how do the... Okay, how do the gloves... how are the gloves the trait? Because that's not her body at all. She could literally just have anything. It's not like... Oh, Jesus Christ.
In that case, I think it would be helpful if someone explained why she actually wears those gloves.
See, that's the important bit! My god, Makoto is so dumb.
And would you happen to know the answer?
In fact, Monokuma told me. Apparently you have scars on your hands you don't want anyone to see.
Oh, you know, now that I think about it, the corpse wasn't wearing any gloves, right?
Yes, but that doesn't mean anything. Anybody's body can be tampered with. And besides, not everyone wears the exact same fucking clothes as you guys do day in and day out.
They probably just got burnt up in the explosion. I'm not convinced. The ghost is just trying to fool us all.
This is such... It's so hard to take this one seriously right now. Shit. I should have read that. I kind of thought read it out. There's no way that corpse was Kyoko. But if I can't prove why, we're gonna be stuck here and the case won't move forward. So I don't have any choice but to... Just... Kyoko's standing right there. Of course the dead body... Jesus criminy. Tattoo on the right hand, yeah. For the fake nails. Well, we'll have to wait and see.
Kyoko there is just a ghost.
Impossible.
Okay, then prove it. Prove she's not a ghost.
The dead body wasn't wearing gloves.
They got burnt up in the explosion.
Then she was wearing gloves before the explosion?
No.
Yeah, she must have been wearing gloves. Because that corpse is absolutely Kyoko.
Okay, so that's,
This entire discussion is idiotic.
the fake nails. It would make it harder to do any mundane task or something is what it said. I know that body isn't Kyoko's, and I know I can prove it. Fake nails.
Kyoko
Woo!
there's...
pocket.
Okay, then prove
The dead body was...
they got burnt up in the explosion.
It should be
She was wearing gloves before...
after this, and I think I have to get rid of some pink.
Well, yeah, she must have been wearing gloves. 'Cause that corpse is
Yeah.
absolutely Kyoko.
I was rereading it to make sure that was the exact right one, because I wasn't paying attention for the last, like, two passages.
wasn't wearing...
They got burnt up in the explosion.
Come on.
Then she was wearing gloves before the explosion.
Right here.
Well, yeah, she must have been wearing gloves.
Sorry.
No, it's wrong.
Well, I mean, the fake nails that they have, but it's not like you can't put fake nails on that
No,
just stop at the
There's
core.
no way the corpse was wearing gloves.
I say core, but I don't really know. I am very straight. I don't understand fashion.
Whoever it was, they were wearing fake nails, remember? I imagine trying to wear gloves over nails like that would have been a pretty big pain.
Yes and no, but like,
Besides, Kyoko wears gloves to hide her hands, right? It'd be pretty weird for someone who's self-conscious about their hands to wear fake nails, don't you think?
well, Makoto, you gave her some fucking perfume. A detective, I doubt, would want to have perfume. So what makes you think that she wouldn't want fake nails as well?
Jeez, man, you don't know women, huh? They're complicated like that.
Okay, I don't want to hear anything from you.
If anyone doesn't know women, it's you.
Thank you.
Well, Kyoko, any thoughts?
These gloves were custom made to the size of my hands to make sure they don't interfere with my daily life. If I wore fake nails, the gloves wouldn't fit properly.
Then that's that. The dead body doesn't belong to Kyoko.
Which should have been obvious since she's standing right here.
Okay. God, I hate you so much, but you have you have the most redeeming lines in each case. Why? I fucking hate you.
Okay, so then, who's the real victim? First, we need to figure that out.
Well, that's easy for Byakuya, Kyoko, and I.
That's the first thing I said. You're the one who's been dragging us around in circles.
God damn it. I'm starting to like him again. Before anything, we have to identify the victim. Everything starts from there. Let's make the argument. Sprinkler's exploded body analysis tattoo on the right hand.
If Kyoko really is still alive, then who died?
Probably the tattoo.
There's gotta be some way to figure it out.
Yep.
I don't think so. The face was scorched beyond recognition.
That's not what I
And there
can...
wasn't any description in the Monokuma file.
I have to look out for the discrepancy.
Well, if we can't identify the body...
It's right
Then
there.
there's nothing else we can do, right?
Sorry. Oh wait, that's right, I can't skip this one. And the one thing that can tell us was on the victim's own body. Woohoo! It was on the second to last one, I believe.
I don't think so. And there wasn't any description in the Monokuma file.
Right here, was there a pink one?
Well, if we can't identify the body...
I kind of missed that because I was in a hurry. Because those propellers were gonna shield it.
There was one clue left behind that we can use to identify the body.
What? For real? If you're lying, you'll die a cruel and unusual death.
Cruel and unusual death. This I gotta see.
She's just being stupid. Ignore them, Makoto. Tell us what you're talking about.
Thank you.
The key to figuring out who it was is the tattoo on the back of her hand.
Oh, yeah. The design's pretty strange, huh? Is this a dog? Her master must have made her get it. To be like, you're my bitch.
Seriously? They really did something that humiliating?
No, that's not it. The identity of the victim is hidden within that tattoo.
Thank you.
Oh, really?
I mean, I guess it makes sense that the others don't know it. If you compare the tattoo to the other information we have, the victim's identity should become clear. So I should... Okay, so it's not the fact that I'm looking for the comparisons for the group that she's a part in, but it's actually just her thing that she was a part of it. Where the fuck? I keep passing it because I'm not paying attention. Oh, okay. No, okay, I just hadn't gone far enough. Whew! Mukuro Ikusaba, female, no. She became obsessed with the military from a young age. I guess, maybe, but it still doesn't seem like it's the exact right thing.
I got it!
Because...
The Fenrir Mercenary Corps. That's the name of the military group Mukuro Ikusaba belonged to.
Yeah, but... Are you also gonna show off the information, or is Byakuya gonna explain about the Fenrir?
Okay, so...
To show that they're a member of the team,
Okay.
each soldier that joins the squad would get a tattoo representing Fenrir somewhere on their body.
Okay, because that technically wasn't a part of my evidence. It's just... more talking points, I guess. The image that represents Fenrir is... shit, I don't remember what it was called. It was like, oh, it's just a wolf. Okay. F. That was the fastest one yet!
Now I understand.
Thank God those letters came quickly.
The representation of Fenrir is... a wolf.
Fenrir, the Wolf of Ragnarok. It's from Norse mythology. A huge, world-ending wolf race.
Damn. Oh wait, yeah, duh, that's right, you write books.
He's the child of the trickster god Loki, and a female giant.
Oh, I didn't know that. Cool.
After all this time, we finally got a glimpse of the literary all-star.
At least I'm not the only one.
A wolf tattoo. And that means...
Exactly. The body we found had a tattoo of a wolf.
Mm-hmm.
Which means that person must have once belonged to Fenrir. So it must have been Mukuro.
What?
Hold on. Isn't she the one that was behind this whole thing?
You would be technically correct into assuming that.
You sound surprised, but you're absolutely right. Yes, indeed. The trial this time is to solve the murder of Mukuro Ikusaba.
I wonder why Monokuma decides to add certain things only in certain cases.
Are you saying
Okay.
the mastermind is dead? And now we have to have a cool last trial?
No. It means we were wrong in thinking that Mukuro was the mastermind at all.
Okay. Byakuya's coming back.
I mean, being the ultimate despair seems like a pretty mastermindy title to me.
Well, sorry.
Maybe we shouldn't have been thinking of her as the ultimate despair in the first place.
Which makes me
After
wonder
all,
where
looking
it
at
came
her
from in the
profile,
first place.
I didn't see anything that would fit such a description. All it said was that she was the ultimate soldier.
Which is pretty badass if you ask me.
If I remember correctly, that other information came from Kyoko. That's what you told Makoto, right?
Yeah.
So that means Kyoko got it wrong?
Or she lied.
And who was she? Who was Mukuro Ikusaba? She's been gone this whole time, and when she finally turns up, she gets killed.
Yeah, that's what I'd like to know, is where the fuck she was. Because everything was locked for a while.
Usually when there's a scene where an important character dies, it has a lot more detail.
So you're saying she wasn't an important character? Which would mean she was the same as us. Just another participant.
Then who's the real mastermind?
I think it's the bear standing there.
It must have been the Hope's Peak Academy headmaster after all.
No, the headmaster has nothing to do with it.
But how can we trust that? We already know your information about Mukuro was wrong.
My information was not wrong.
Okay. We're in the middle of a trial right now. Figuring out who killed Mukuro is first and foremost.
Yes, but I feel as if where it's being driven right now is going to lead to the person with the most information about shit is going to fucking die.
Please limit all future prattle, chatter, and chit-chat as much as possible.
Fine. Uncovering the identity of the mastermind will have to wait. But remember this. No matter what happens, we will find out who you really are. I stake my family name on it.
I have officially decided to completely ignore all such attempts at provocation. Now then, just so nobody's confused, let me state this one more time for the record. The reason we're having a class trial is because a murder among the students has taken place. Hammer that point straight into your big ol' brains!
What you're saying is that both the victim and the culprit are part of the student body?
Then, one of us killed Mukuro?
Oh, who would have guessed?
Wait, no! There's a chance that there's some mystery 17th person who's been hiding all along!
No, there's only 16. He doesn't lie.
Nope. There are only 16 students in total that have been taking part in these events.
Seriously? Then one of us killed Mukuro?
Who did it? Who's the killer this time?
Get a hold of yourself. We've already narrowed down the list of possible suspects.
Huh?
I'm sure you realize who I'm talking about, right, Makoto? Who the evidence points to?
Yeah. Based on what we know, there can only be 2 suspects. Makoto and Kyoko.
I got it! You've narrowed it down to Kyoko and me, right?
Why do you say that?
Allow me to explain. Just after nighttime last night, I went to the garden, so I can confirm that at that point, there was no dead body there. So, the murder must have taken place after I left the garden. However, Hiro, Toko, Hina, and I were in the gym the entire time.
The gym?
That's sweet. We did technically find the body to get. Yeah, okay, yeah. I was thinking maybe there's a possibility that he could have murdered her in the middle of the night and then set up the tarp, but no, there's no fucking way at all, because he was still trying to find people at that time to tell them about the limp Monokuma.
That's right. The 4 of us were there trying to dismantle Monokuma.
Yep.
The whole time we were very careful not to go anywhere alone. We even went to the bathroom in pairs. All of which is to say, the 4 of us all have alibis. The only ones without alibis
Are me and Makoto. That's why you're able to narrow down the list of suspects.
exactly
Yep.
so.
So the only suspects now are me and Kyoko. Damn it! I can't let this stand. Somehow I have to clear my name.
I have something I'd like to say regarding the whole alibi thing.
Are you thinking of raising an objection?
Well, before that, I just want to try and get a better idea of what time the murder took place. Doing that might reveal some kind of clue.
Whatever you want. Somebody go ahead and help him out.
Me and Byakuya can both confirm that the body wasn't in the garden at, well, it was after nighttime for sure. I'd say it must have been around 10 o'clock.
Yep.
So the murder must have happened after 10 p.m.
Well, the only thing that proves that it wasn't me is that that tarp got wet at all, and I was with Hina at 7:30 when the sprinklers go off. So...
And I guess we can say the time frame for the murder was between then and when we found the body? Oh, but what time did we find the body?
it was...
The one who saw the body
Yep.
first was Toko, right?
Yeah.
And she went to go get the pickaxe.
So what time was the body discovered? At 9 o'clock,
I got
roughly.
it. The body must have been discovered at 9 a.m., since that's when Toko went to get the pickaxe.
Now then, Toko, what time is it? Well, when we left the gym, it was just before 9 o'clock, so it's probably 9 on the dot now. Okay, go get the pickaxe and be back here by 9:01.
He's right. It had to be around then.
So we can be totally sure the murder happened sometime between 10 at night and 9 in the morning.
For me, I was already asleep before nighttime hit, so I don't have an alibi after 10 o'clock. But I'm sure I met up with everyone else before 9 this morning.
I just thought about it. If they were going to the bathroom in Paris, why was Hina alone in the... to go get the food? That doesn't make much sense.
We ran into each other in the dining hall, right? That was around... Oh yeah! Right around 7:30. I remember checking right before I went in, so I'm totally sure about it.
Which means from 10 p.m. to 7:30 a.m., you don't have an alibi.
Correct. The murder happened between 10 p.m. and 9 a.m., and I don't have an alibi from 10 p.m. to 7:30. Until 7:30 a.m. Okay, then, it looks like the game has begun. If I can't provide an alibi for that period, then I just have to prove the murder didn't happen during the time that I don't have an alibi. To do that, I have to make it clear when the body ended up in the garden. Sprinklers, exploded body analysis, fragments near the dead body.
We've established a time frame for the murder. It took place somewhere between 10 o'clock at night and 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yep, and Makoto doesn't have an alibi for most of that time.
Yeah, from 10 o'clock to 7:30.
That's more than enough time to commit murder, I should think. So Makoto, if you have any objections, now would be the time.
Wait, hold on, what? There's something that happens in the garden at the same time every morning. Looking back, the corpse was almost totally dry. Wait, so then... In which case, I should be able to figure out when the body must have appeared in the garden. But it's not like I'm contradicting anything.
Established a time frame for the murder. It took place somewhere between 10 o'clock at night and 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yep, and Makoto doesn't have an alibi.
Yeah, from 7:30.
Yeah, like, Come on, Makoto, don't scare me like that. It makes me think something weird is going on.
Shoot!
I need to think about it one more time. There must be a contradiction in there somewhere. Which is...
We've established a time
It's not like it's
frame
a...
for the murder. It took place somewhere between 10 and 9 o'clock.
Okay, I missed it. But it's not like that's a contradiction. It's just...
If you have any objections,
That's not a contradiction. It's an observation of time. This is what I'm proposing as an actual fact.
It took place somewhere between 10 o'clock.
Oh shit. I misclicked.
No, it's wrong.
Oh, I just realized how little time there is for this case.
Actually,
Damn, this
the
goes
murder
quick,
couldn't
doesn't
have
it?
happened anywhere near 10 o'clock. It had to have taken place way later.
And what makes you say that?
Because of the sprinklers in the garden. The sprinklers are set to go off right at 7:30 every morning, right?
Okay, so that's not a contradiction because that is all that Byakuya knows. It's not like he's saying it's definitively. That's all he knows is that it happened at sometime in between that. That is a fact. It happened sometime between then. Because this is also technically not true, and that contradiction can also be... Jesus Christ.
So if the body had been in the garden before 7:30, then it should have been completely soaked.
Oh, hold on. I remember this part perfectly.
It can
The
technically...
body was wet. Dripping wet, in fact.
I hate how you put stuff, Toko. The fact that it can technically be construed as correct is because Makoto is technically contradicting that it can have happened between that time and 7:30, but Jesus Christ, or 7:30, or 10 p.m. and 9, yeah, because that's when we found it. It had to have happened between 7:30 and 9, but that doesn't... Oh, Jesus.
Sorry, Toko, but you're wrong.
I'm wrong? How? Are you saying only the mouth down south was wet? How dare you spew such indecent words?
I never said anything like that, and wow!
No, I'm saying that the body was wet, but not because of the sprinklers.
What do you mean? By denying the sprinkler, are you trying to deny my entire existence?
Hey, Byakuya, can you do me a favor?
Man, you're totally wacko.
If you really think it wasn't the sprinkler, you'd better tell us why!
I need to prove that it wasn't the sprinklers that got the body wet. All I have to do is hit Toko with certain evidence, and that should do it. If we look at the body itself, that should make it clear. Okay, what am I doing? Oh god, I'm doing this for this?
I admit nothing. I hate you. No, no, no! I don't know anything! Oh,
Okay, gotta find the right bullet, gotta find the right bullet.
How can you say
Exploded
it
body
wasn't
analysis.
the sprinkler?
Well, simply by this,
should prove
which I still don't understand. Is it only mean that requires me to use multiple bullets for that?
Just remember what the body was like after the explosion, and you'll see why it wasn't the sprinklers. The top half of the body was wet, yes, but the bottom half was completely dry. If the sprinklers got the body wet, shouldn't the whole body have been wet?
So they only got the top wet? The bottom was completely dry? What a brutal maniac! I'm so sick of her.
Let's just move on. The reason only the top half was wet was because
You had doused the
while
fire.
the body was still on fire, I doused it with water. But only the part on fire, the top half.
Which is kinda in the air of misbelief at that point, because, like, how can you be accurate? That accurate.
Then I guess the sprinklers really didn't do it.
So if the sprinklers didn't
Well,
get the body
yeah.
wet, then the murder must have taken place sometime after the sprinklers turned on at 7:30 in the morning.
Which means she must have been killed sometime between then and when the body was discovered at 9.
But Makoto's alibi was only missing from 10 o'clock last night to 7:30 this morning, right?
So there's no way Makoto could have done it. I guess you had an alibi after all. Good for you.
In which case, the only one left without an alibi is Kyoko.
Kyoko's the only one without an alibi. Which would mean that Mukuro's killer is... No, I refuse to believe it. Kyoko murdered someone? That's...
I'd just like to say one thing.
Okay, and that is...
If you vote for me and I die here, the mystery of this school will stay hidden forever.
Yes, but... Ugh, never mind.
Which is why I can't let that happen.
Huh?
So are you saying you're not the culprit?
Of course I'm not. I have no reason to kill anyone. This is a trap the mastermind has laid for us.
A trap?
We're this far into the game, and now you decide to blame me? Stop wasting time! Stop wasting energy! You really think your little trick is gonna work?
Shut up, you!
You got it, boss! Shutting up now!
Anyway, Kyoko, you actually did have a reason to kill her.
Huh? She did?
She thought Mukuro was the ultimate despair. In other words, the mastermind behind everything. So she killed her to try and put a stop to all this. Isn't that right, Kyoko? But you made one catastrophic mistake. Mukuro wasn't the mastermind at all.
Well, I mean, even so, well, I guess the implication that she probably thought that, since, Monokuma can only be operated one at a time, maybe? I don't know.
And as a result, we were forced into another trial. Something I'm sure you weren't at all expecting.
So that was her motive?
If she had a motive and no alibi, well then, I think it's pretty clear Kyoko's gotta be the culprit.
I'm not the only one without an alibi. Makoto's explanation is still insufficient. The sprinklers didn't get the body wet, but that doesn't mean the murder happened when he said it did.
What are you...
Okay. I was about to read it for some reason.
There is a way the body could have avoided getting wet.
Yeah, and I already know it.
Interesting. I'm listening.
All it would take is covering the body with a certain something to keep it from getting wet.
Certain something at the scene was used to cover the body? Could it have been... wherever the hell it is? A tarp?
I got it!
Yep,
You're
indeedy-doo.
talking about the tarp, aren't you?
You catch on quick. You're right. All you'd have to do is cover the body with the tarp, and that'd take care of the water. In fact, that's exactly what the killer did. The dirt pattern on the tarp can attest to that. Only one side of the tarp got dirty, because that's the side that got covered in water. The side that faced down over the body, meanwhile, kept perfectly clean. This proves that the killer used the tarp to keep the body from getting soaked.
But why would they go to all that effort just to keep the body from getting wet?
Most likely so they could cloud the issue of when the murder actually took place. In other words, to create an excuse exactly like the one Makoto just gave us.
I wonder if I can actually die in here. Why would Kyoko say that? Why would she want to make me look like the killer? No. I can't think about that right now. That tarp. If it was used the way Kyoko said, the tarp must have touched the body, right? But the body...
Wait. Something's not right.
And what might that be?
I can't worry about Kyoko's motivations. If I don't do something, everyone's gonna think I'm the killer. I have to refute what Kyoko said. What part specifically, though, do you mean? You mean the knife in the stomach, or body before the explosion, exploded body analysis, fragments near the dead body?
By covering the body with the tarp, the killer prevented it from getting wet.
So the reason the tarp was only dirty on one side is because the sprinkler got that side wet.
But the underside of the tarp,
It's
it was
completely
totally
clean.
spotless, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's because that side was protected from the water. Since it was facing down toward the body, of course it didn't get dirty.
Oh, yeah, the blood would have gotten it dirty. I remember the blood on the body hadn't dried yet. Byakuya even warned us not to touch it, to avoid getting any blood on us. Okay, yeah, that one went over my head completely. Yeah.
By covering
Okay.
the body with the tarp,
Body before the
the killer
explosion,
prevented
right?
it from getting wet.
Oh, let me look at all of them.
So the reason the tarp
Yeah.
was only
Dirty on one because the sprinkler, the underside of it was totally spotless, right?
that side was protected from the water.
Next one.
Since it was facing down toward the body, of
Uh,
course it didn't get dirty.
No, that's wrong. Actually, one side being clean is pretty strange if you think about it. Because the blood wasn't dry before the body got blown up, right? Byakuya said it himself. Not to touch it, or you might get some on you. If you put a tarp on a body in that state, it absolutely would have gotten blood on it.
okay, so the murder did in fact happen between 7:30, after the sprinklers, and 9. But why was there a tarp just out and about to get wet in the first place?
Well, maybe the culprit washed it, so nobody would know they'd used it.
No, it would be wet then.
If they had, they would have washed both sides. Just washing the one side wouldn't hide anything.
Oh, yeah, true.
More than that, what if the very blood we saw on the body was meant as a kind of camouflage?
Huh? Blood was camouflage?
What if, after the killer used the tarp to avoid the sprinklers, they then covered the body in blood that didn't belong to the victim?
You mean someone else's blood? Where would they get something like that?
I know! They could have grabbed some of the blood packs from the nurse's office. That's what Hifumi did, right? When he pretended to be dead?
Good thinking, hero.
No, that's not what happened this time.
However, yep.
The killer got the blood from right there in the garden.
Oh, the chicken. Oh. They got blood from right there in the garden, right? Which must mean... I didn't even think... Yeah. But the implications that the chicken was used.
I got it!
Yikes.
Could it have been chicken blood?
What? Chicken blood?
When I checked the chicken coop before the murder, there were 5 chickens.
And Hero can
But
attest to
after
that.
the murder, there were only 4.
So, you're saying someone killed a chicken and then covered the body with its blood? Man, that's messed up.
Killing a living thing just to do something like that is awful. They should have at least eaten it.
I wonder if the killer had to get the blood from the scene so they wouldn't be spotted walking around. Anyway, there's no denying that a chicken went missing, which provides a basis for my theory.
Perhaps, but even so, there's one thing that still doesn't make sense. You said the culprit used the tarp to avoid the water and then covered the body in blood, right? But if that's the case, then the blood should have soaked into the ground around the body. But that's not what we saw. Only the victim's clothing had blood on it. The ground was completely clean.
I have to agree, that certainly is strange. Maybe they didn't apply the blood at the scene. Maybe they covered the coat in blood beforehand.
They covered it beforehand?
That would make sense because the blood is on the outside.
When you discovered the body, was it wearing the coat like you normally would?
No.
I think so.
Oh, you dumbass.
Wait, no. The head was through the neck hole, but the arms weren't in the sleeves.
And also it was on
Then
backwards.
that settles it.
Sorry, I'm having a tough time keeping up. What settles what?
It's okay, Hina.
Here's what happened. The murder took place before the sprinklers went off, but the body didn't get wet because the killer covered it with the tarp. Then, later, at the same time the killer was gathering up the tarp, they pulled the coat over the body, the coat they'd already covered in blood. This series of cover-ups was meant to disguise the actual time the murder occurred. They wanted us to think the murder happened sometime after the sprinklers had gone off, at 7:30.
If that's actually what took place, it certainly becomes possible that the murder happened earlier.
But to pull all that off, wouldn't they have had to go back to the garden after the sprinklers turned off?
That actually wouldn't have been all that difficult.
Huh?
They already had the coat ready, so they just had to grab the tarp and pull the coat over the body.
The only proof of evidence is going to be the missing bomb, and since I was with everybody until it went off...
They'd be done in no time.
Maybe, but still.
Hina, after you met up with Makoto in the dining hall, did you two stay together from that point on?
Oh no. I headed off to the gym, and Makoto didn't show up till later.
What? What? That's a thing? That's a thing?
Then he had plenty of time to spare, wouldn't you say?
That's not...
I thought we went together. I thought I was helping her with the food.
Don't bother saying it's not possible.
I must admit, Kyoko's reasoning is sound. Makoto's alibi is inadequate.
And the suspicion falls back on me again. But why? Why is Kyoko trying to entrap me? I don't understand. This guy's dead body has been added to the truth bullets section of your handbook. That is the first time that we've had evidence added in the middle of a trial.
Well then, it looks like we're back to square one. Makoto's alibi is no good, so once again, our suspects are him and Kyoko.
For serious, man? Which one of them did it? Hey, why don't we let luck decide? Let's flip a coin. 50-50 odds.
You dumbass.
Oh!
See? Pretty good idea, right?
No, she's got something up her
No,
sleeve.
not that. I just remembered something super serious.
Well, don't just stand there. Out with it.
You know that knife we found all black and burnt?
Uh-oh.
One we found stuck in the body before it exploded, right?
Uh-oh.
According to the Monokuma file, the knife went all the way through, from front to back. So, what about it?
I'm pretty sure I'd seen that knife somewhere before.
Uh-oh.
That's what I thought when I first saw it. I just remembered.
Uh-oh. Listen, more important, now that we have the knife, what are we gonna do with it? We can't let Toko keep it, that's for sure. We don't know what she might do. I don't want it anyway. So what to do? Why don't you hang on to it, Makoto? Oh. Ooh, Kyoko. Shit. Me?
It's the knife we gave to Makoto?
You don't seem surprised. You must have noticed earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Then why did you hide that fact?
It's not that I hid it. It's just...
I couldn't figure out how it got there. I couldn't be sure of what exactly happened last night. I thought maybe I really did kill her.
Suspicious. Very suspicious indeed. The knife we found stuck in the body came from Makoto.
Yeah.
I'm totally convinced he did it. 12,000% convinced.
Yes, but your conviction seems to flip very easily. Considering up till now, I should be able to make it clear. I have to prove that I didn't murder anyone. I'm not the killer. Okay, and what exactly am I going to propose? Disguised dead body, exploded body analysis, fragments near the dead body.
The knife we found lodged in the dead body. It's the same one we gave to Mukuro. It really is, isn't it? I was afraid of that.
If he did have that knife before, then that seals it. Makoto did it.
Just because I had the knife once, that automatically makes me the killer?
There's only one thing so far.
Getting stabbed is what killed her, right? So there's no question. You took that knife of yours and killed her with it.
What a horrible man you are, Makoto.
Okay, so it's the thing that Hiro said. Stabbing was the form of death, but we've already established that the coat was put on the body after the tarp was removed, which means that the knife was thrust through the coat into the body.
The knife we found lodged in the dead body.
Oh.
It's the same one we gave to Makoto. It really is.
Disguised dead. Okay. Yeah, so I have to use the evidence that she just gave me right back at them.
And
That seals it. Just because I had the knife, that automatically makes me the killer?
Right here?
well, getting stabbed is what killed her.
No, that's wrong.
No, that's wrong! I gotta remember that. I gotta match it up at least one time.
Wait, hold on. The stab wound isn't what killed Mukuro. That should be clear from the description of the cover-up we just heard.
Lies! We never talked about what killed her.
No, don't you remember? The killer covered the dead body with the tarp, and then put the bloody coat on it, right?
But the knife is after the coat.
In other words, the victim never wore that blood-stained coat until after they were dead.
Okay, fine. So what?
So, when we discovered the body, the knife had been thrust through the coat along with the body. Meaning, if she wasn't stabbed until the coat was put on, and she was already dead at that point, obviously the stab wound isn't what killed her.
Maybe you stabbed her twice. Once to kill her and once to cover it up.
The victim was stabbed twice in the same spot? No, there's no way that's possible. The exact condition of the body was written down for everyone to see. Monokuma file number 5.
I got it! The Monokuma file clearly states that there was only one stab wound.
I don't really remember reading that, but I'll trust it.
I sure did. Totally forgot about that.
I remember it was pushed all the way through. That I remember that part.
Was just another piece of camouflage set up by the true killer. They probably stabbed her to draw attention away from what actually killed her. Exploding the body afterward was probably meant to do the same thing. The explosion severely damaged the body, making it impossible to know what really killed her. It was all the killer's attempt to destroy all evidence of their crime.
Yeah, this seems
They
like a
wanted
really
us to
small
notice
trial.
the stab wound and then detonated the body afterward. They meant for us to latch onto the knife as the cause of death, then destroy any evidence proving otherwise.
Oh, hey, I have a question. It kind of goes back to the beginning, but
What's up?
what's the deal with that explosion anyway? Why'd the body just blow up all of a sudden like that?
Well,
If you bothered to put that lump of gray matter between your ears to use, you'd know the answer.
I want to stab you.
Well, if you're so smart, just tell me.
I'll tell you. I bet some unknown quantum particle caused an atomic level spontaneous combustion.
Shut the fuck up.
I might be dumb, but even I'm not dumb enough to believe that.
Go ahead, Makoto. Tell her or we won't make any headway on this.
Okay. There's only one explanation I can think of for the explosion. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Did I already pass it? Fragments. Yes, there we are.
I got it! After the explosion, we found a tiny fragment of something on the ground near the body, right? That fragment reveals the cause of the explosion.
Huh? You know, I feel like I've seen something like it somewhere before.
Good, Hina.
That's only natural, because of course, we saw the same thing when we dismantled Monokuma. It's part of a bomb.
Oh! Then the explosion was because of the Monokuma bomb.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, the culprit's motive is becoming more and more obvious by the minute. They wanted the knife wound to look like the fatal injury so that we'd suspect Makoto.
Kyoko is very thorough in trying to convince others.
And the only one who would benefit from that is the only other possible suspect. You, Kyoko.
Hold on a second, Byakuya.
What's the problem?
Well, I just feel like we need to think this through. We still don't know what actually killed the victim.
Yeah, I'm
That's true.
not 100%.
It's definitely bugging me. What really killed her?
Fine. I have no problem with that. Let us continue the debate.
Also, what's up with the tape thing? I'm still
It won't
confused about
change
that.
The facts of the case regardless.
We need to determine what ultimately killed the victim. I need to concentrate. Alright. I'm gonna have to copy something. Or I actually used that because there was...
Shall we continue the debate?
Hold on 1 second. I actually... this will have the victim had been stabbed a single time with a knife, which went completely through the body. They were, however, dead. They had also been struck in the head with an object about as thick as a metal pipe. Huh. Okay, so I don't think that they were shot through the head and the mask was reapplied after. With an arrow. It was used to cover up the head. Something as thick as a metal pipe. But that was never found. Interesting. Okay. Then shall we continue the debate?
Fatal injury has yet to be determined, correct?
The explosion didn't kill her for sure. Yes.
Well, yeah. She was already totally dead when that happened.
And it wasn't me because of the knife, right? And then there's only one other thing.
Oh, yeah. According to the Monokuma file, that's gotta be it. There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back of her head.
And more than that, the victim had suffered countless wounds across her entire body.
Okay, so that's the last thing that I have to refute, I think? The knife was a cover-up, and all those other wounds on her body weren't fresh, which only leaves...
Then shall we continue the debate?
The victim's fatal.
The explosion didn't kill her.
Well, yeah.
So do I just use the Monokuma file to say that they're old?
There was evidence that showed she was...
And more than that, the victim had suffered countless wounds across her entire body.
What do you think what? You think there's some mistake lurking in what I said? Yes, because they're old. It's not at all related to his. I need to think about it one more time. There must be a contradiction in there somewhere.
Then shall we continue the debate? The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined, correct?
The explosion didn't kill her for sure. Yes.
Well, yeah. She was already totally dead when that happened.
And it wasn't me because of the knife, right? And then there's only one other thing.
Oh, yeah. According to the Monokuma file, that's gotta be it. There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back of her head.
And more than that, the victim had suffered countless wounds across her entire body.
I mean, I don't remember it ever saying that it was on the back of her head. I remember it saying they had also been struck in the head with an object about as thick as a metal pipe. Maybe that is the contradiction?
Then shall we continue? The victim's fatal.
The explosion didn't kill.
Well, yeah.
She was already totally...
And it wasn't because of the knife, right?
I don't know where exactly it
And then
fits.
There's only one other thing.
Oh, yeah.
It's right after this.
According to the Mukuro
3.
file, that's gotta be it. There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back of her head.
But... yes, I see. So what you're saying is, I have absolutely no idea.
Shoot!
I need to think about it one more time. There must be a contradiction in there somewhere. I definitely have to scan something.
Then shall we continue the debate?
This is really
The
weird.
victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined, correct?
The explosion didn't kill her for sure. Yes.
Well, yeah. She was already totally dead when that happened.
And it wasn't because of the knife, right? And then there's only one other thing.
Oh, yeah. According to the Mukuro file, that's gotta be it. There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back of her head.
And more than that, the
Fatal-
victim had suffered countless wounds across her entire body.
I am so lost on this one.
Shoot!
Then shall we
I might
continue
lose
the
on this
debate?
one just because, like, this one
The
is...
victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined, correct?
The explosion didn't kill her for sure. Yes.
Well, yeah. She was already totally dead when that happened.
And it wasn't because of the knife, right? And then there's only one other thing.
Oh, yeah. According to the Mukuro file, that's gotta be it. There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back of her head.
And more than that, the victim had suffered countless wounds across her entire body.
Maybe I copy heroes? I mean, there's no harm. I can always just recycle in it, which I don't actually like, but... it...
Then shall we continue? The victim's fatal.
The explosion didn't kill.
Well, yeah.
And it wasn't because of the knife, right? And then there's only one other thing.
Oh, yeah. That's gotta be it. There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back.
And more than that, the victim had suffered countless wounds across her entire...
Then shall we continue the debate? The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined.
No, it's wrong.
But it doesn't say back of the head!
Mukuro died because of the blow to the back of the head she suffered.
We don't know that! She's got a fucking mask on, and all it said was that there was a blow to the head! I wish I could go back and read it. I wish I could go back and read it.
What about the wounds all over the rest of her body? They didn't have anything to do with it?
The Monokuma file makes it clear that those weren't fresh wounds.
Could I have copied those as well? Like, that one makes me pissed because of just stupid specific wording. Just, ugh.
Oh yeah, good point. If they were old, I guess they don't really matter.
Okay, then we're safe in assuming the blow to the back of her head is what killed her.
Not exactly, because as we know with Sakura, even if someone does suffer a blow to the head, it doesn't mean that they're immediately going to die. The knife could have still killed them in the end. They could have been knocked out, concussed, anything.
But then, what was the murder weapon? The Monokuma file says she was hit with a blunt object, about as thick as a metal pipe.
Oh, I bet it was the pickaxe!
How is that even possible? If you hit someone with that, it'd cave their skull in completely.
Well, maybe they held it the other way and hit her with the handle.
No way! The balance would be all off. You wouldn't be able to swing it with any kind of power.
You could get some behind it, but not as much as you would the other way.
I wouldn't mind testing it on you if you
No thanks. I bet you just hit me with the metal end and call it an accident.
I'd love to scoop out that nasty brain of yours, throw it on the ground, and spit on it.
I really don't understand how you ride.
I feel the same way. Looks like we're on the same page this time.
Seriously?
We want to figure out what killed her, right? It just so happens we already know.
We already know? I knew we could count on you, Master.
So what was it?
Go ahead and tell them, Makoto. Surely you've deduced the real murder weapon?
The real murder weapon. Is it titanium arrows? But that's not as...
I got it! Mukuro was hit in the back of the head with something. And that's what killed her. And that something was the titanium arrow we found in the locker in the dojo.
Arrow. That's what the culprit attacked Mukuro with?
Indeed. There's no doubt about it.
Are you sure? That sounds kind of weird. Hey! How dare you backtalk, Master? You have no right! I'm not backtalking anything. I'm just saying what I think.
They were shot through the head, maybe? That's a blow to the head, maybe? And Kyoko put tape on her hands while she moved the body and put the mask back on or something, maybe? So she wouldn't get blood on them, and then ripped off the tape? Possibly. I don't blame Hina for doubting it, because there's one more thing about that weapon. One more secret. Bloody duct tape, woodblock key, titanium arrows. Okay, they all are in the same area.
The titanium arrow.
Mm-hmm.
It was in the dojo locker, right?
Mm-hmm.
I have no doubt that was the murder weapon.
Are you sure?
You don't sound convinced. What's the problem?
Well, because in the Monokuma file, it said the weapon must have been about as thick as a metal pipe, right?
Yeah.
It seems like an arrow would just be too thin. Talking back to Master! You have no right!
If it was just the titanium arrow, it wouldn't be nearly thick enough. Which is why they used...
The titanium arrow. It was in the dojo locker, right? I have no doubt that was the murder weapon.
Are you sure?
Did they pad it?
You don't sound convinced. What's the problem?
Well, because in the Monokuma file, it
Wouldn't that
said
cushion the
weapon
blow?
must have been about as thick as a metal pipe, right? It seems like an arrow would just be
Oh
too
shit, I hit the wrong button.
Master,
Okay.
you have
I wanted to slow it down because that too thin thing was gonna...
The titanium, it was in the dojo. I have no doubt.
Are you sure?
You don't sound.
Well, it said the weapon must have been about. It seems like an arrow would just be too.
No, that's wrong. You're right. Just the one arrow would have been too weak.
Oh,
That's why
duh.
the killer used another weapon.
Multiple arrows put together.
Another weapon?
Inside the dojo locker, we also found a balled up wad of duct tape. The killer probably uses duct tape to bind multiple arrows together.
Yeah. That completely escaped my mind. And with that revelation, I feel like it's a good time to stop in the middle. Sorry. I didn't even realize that I went a little bit over, but that one was bugging me. Well, the one before that as well. Hopefully you're looking forward to more. And at least, like, the one other stupid mistake before, at least, saves me from feeling guilty about only making one mistake, in the trial or something like that. Like, did I complete one without making a mistake? That was Chihiro's, right? No. You have to do it without failing. I still have yet to do one without a mistake. That's, yeah, okay. Oh well. Well, hopefully you're looking forward to more in what is soon to become the next trial, but for now, I'm leaving this episode here. Thank you so much for coming out, and let's see how everything wraps up. I have no idea how far we actually are in this, but oopsie daisy. Thank you so much for coming out, and have a nice day.